This is KNEB.TV weather from the KNEB Storm Center, your trusted source for weather.
Well, we have our first bona fide winter storm of the season coming in here. We're going to start with some fog, maybe some freezing drizzle overnight tonight into early tomorrow. It's going to be chilly, foggy, cold, even if we don't have freezing drizzle and we just have that fog. Going to be soupy and some icy road conditions to be concerned about. Before we get to the major storm system, and this is what we're looking at right now with winter weather advisories up from eastern portions of, make that from western portions of Cherry County through the central part of the Sandhills down into western Kansas. Those surround the winter storm warnings, which are up for northeastern Kansas and southeastern portions of Nebraska, including Lincoln, under that winter storm warning. We have dense fog advisories here in our area tonight, as you can see. Areas of dense fog out there in the Panhandle expected tonight, and in areas of west central Nebraska as well as northeastern Colorado. Yesterday we hit a high of 30 after our morning low was 14 degrees. As we look at precip, officially a trace is all we've had out there for the month and year. Should be at about 300 so far, and nothing in the snow, just a trace yesterday. We'd ordinarily have about 4 tenths for the month and well below normal for the year. But look at tomorrow and tomorrow night. Snow chances extremely high in the near probable. And then we taper off non-zero chances of precip through the rest of the week. But certainly our best chance of measurable snow of the season comes tomorrow. Winds are going to stay not too bad, moderate tomorrow, not calm, but at least moderate. And Thursday looks like maybe the breeziest day. Temperatures have ranged across the region. We've got teens from Valentine and Ainsworth down to Thetford, over to Chadron and Gordon, and as high as 40 in Fort Collins, 43 in Laramie even right now, in the 20s elsewhere in between. Winds strongest in the few scattered areas, mostly in that 5 to 15 mile an hour range. A few wind gusts over 20, not a lot, but enough to drop wind chills into the single digits and teens. 20s in northeastern Colorado. As we look at your out-the-door forecast tomorrow, a soupy, foggy day and cold. Temperature is going to be in the 20s all day and falling as we go through the afternoon and evening hours. So here's our forecast. Again, areas of low clouds and fog develop tonight. Scattered areas of freezing drizzle as well. Otherwise, it's just going to be soupy through the daytime hours tomorrow. Now, it's tomorrow afternoon, especially tomorrow night, we start to set the stage with some wraparound moisture. And where these bands of snow set up, you can see right here, this particular model showing right in this area in the middle portion of the region here, basically from Hyannis down through Fort Morgan. That area where we end up in that zone is where the heavier snow is going to fall. Where that ends up setting up ultimately is going to be highly dependent on who gets the most snow. Now, by late Saturday night into Sunday, the system really pulls away from us and we're done, except for maybe just a little wraparound light snow showers on Sunday. But really, for the most part, everything's over Saturday night into early Sunday morning. Low temperatures tonight going to be in the teens. Highs tomorrow expected only in the 20s. That'll be early. Temperatures fall into the teens by evening. And as we look at precip-wise, we're going to squeeze some moisture out of this, maybe some areas close to a half an inch of liquid precip out of this system, which is fantastic. And as far as snow goes, again, those areas in green, that's where the heaviest snow will be as well. And you can see we paint on a swath of maybe 4 to 8 inches of snow in some areas, possibly a bit more in others. Again, where that ultimately sets up, that little zone, that deformation zone, is going to be huge. And again, where we see that set up is ultimately going to determine where the heavier snowfall is. Models doing pretty good with this storm system. As you can see, as we start tonight and go into Saturday evening, then Saturday evening through early Sunday morning is when the majority of these models giving us our snowfall. Total snowfall, depending on which model you look at for Scotts Bluff, somewhere in that 3 to 6.5 inch range. 3 on the very low, 6.5 on the high. Most of them clustered around that 4.5 to 5.5 range. So Models in pretty good agreement on total snowfall out of this storm system as well. Freezing drizzle and fog tonight, lows down around 21. Tomorrow, just a mess. Freezing drizzle, fog, then snow. Very cold. Low or highs only in the 20s. And as we look at the extended forecast, Sunday, we remain cloudy. Temps only in the low 20s. Maybe a brief rebound Monday, back into the 20s Tuesday. Then maybe by next Friday near 40. But really, it's going to be cold for most here of the first full week of January.